Okay, in the first few videos we've focused on some basics and we've been chopping vegetables, so hopefully now we're feeling a bit hungry. And before we go on and work on some other skills, let's just focus on creating a simple, tasty meal. So for this evening, instead of dining out for a pizza, let's make a nice tasty pizza. And these are the ingredients you will need: flour, mozzarella cheese, yeast, salt, sugar, tomato puree, warm water, and whatever ingredients you'd like to put on top. Okay, now we're going to start making the dough for the pizza. So we take the strong white flour that we've measured out. Okay, it's bread making flour. Put it in a larger bowl for mixing. And we're going to add the dried yeast, packet of the dried yeast. If you're using fresh yeast, you should probably use about twice as much. But dried yeast is easier to keep and to have, and it lasts for ages. So there's our dried yeast, kind of a grey colour. Then we're going to add a teaspoon of sugar. Sugar is food for the yeast so that it can do its job, which is to create gas which will rise the dough, and that's what gives us the risen dough for either bread or for pizza base. We're going to add a pinch of salt, which is roughly just a little bit of salt like that. Okay, and then we're going to add our lukewarm water. You add a little bit at a time, or add it all in one go. It doesn't matter too much. So as we mix it up, it's starting to get kind of tougher, if you like, or it's just getting into a large bowl. So that's what we're trying to achieve. So we just get a large ball of dough at that point then. So at this stage, once you have it mixed, it's probably easier to work with it with your hands to get it all into one large bowl. So we're starting to come together into a large ball. Now what makes bread rise is that the gluten molecules, or gluten protein, is built up into bread. They're longer ones, they're longer proteins than is already in the flour. And what that makes, just makes longer proteins which can give support to the bread, so that when it rises up with the gas, it's able to hold its shape, whether it be bread or whether it be just a pizza base. So we put some flour on our base here, okay, because we're going to knead it, and kneading it gives us these larger protein molecules, if you like, that are going to hold up and to make our bread or our pizza. Because for pizza we don't really have to do it as much. You have to do it for longer for bread. So we're just going to do it with the back of your hand like that. And we don't need to do it as long as we do it for bread, so we're just going to do it a little bit. As it starts to get a bit, feels a bit damp or a bit wet under the hands, just put a bit more flour. And it'll be easy to work there. So what we need now is to get it to rise. So we have to leave it for about 25-30 minutes to rise. So we finish off by leaving it in a nice bowl. Okay, so here we have it. We're going to put it in the bowl. Okay, now if we left it like that, what we would end up with is a very hard shell on the outside, and that would stop the dough from rising. So it's important that we take some cling film. Okay, and then we're going to put some oil on the back of it. Okay, so a little bit of oil. And you can just brush it or rub it with a piece of paper. And then we cover the bowl with that. That keeps it from drying out. And all we do now is wait. And while you're waiting, you can be organising your toppings, whatever you want as a topping, so that when we're ready to go, then we won't have wasted any time. Okay, so 25 minutes, half an hour later, we've got our risen dough. So you can see it's risen up into a nice ball. So we've got enough here for about 2 10-inch pizzas. So I'm going to cut it in 2 and we're going to roll them out and make our pizza bases. Then we're going to add the toppings and then we're ready to go straight into the oven. So what you're looking to have at the end then is a nice dough like that. You can feel it. You can feel the noise off it even there. So I'm going to put a bit of flour so that it doesn't stick to the worktop. You can really more or less just cut it in 2. So give us two pizzas. Okay, so we're just going to roughly roll it out now using a rolling pin. The flour and everything just stops it sticking out. So roll it, turn it by a quarter turn, roll it out again. And this doesn't have to fit anything, so whatever size you feel you like it, that's the size of your pizza. So a little bit of flour when it starts to stick. Okay, now we're just going to put it on a baking tray, because unlike a frozen pizza, it doesn't hold its shape, so everything's just going to fall off it. Not like you can put a frozen pizza straight into the oven. One down. Okay, that's our second one there. Okay, so now we just have to work on getting our toppings on it, but as you know from your pizza, there's a tomato base, and then some cheese, and then whatever toppings you like. So to make the tomato base, I'm going to take some organic here, tomato puree. And I'm going to probably use about 2 or 3 tablespoons, as much as you like. Okay. So I'm just going to put all that in there. And I just put a little bit of water in, just put a very small bit to start off with. And then you can just mix it up. Okay, we probably could do a little bit more tomato paste there, but just for demonstration it'll do okay. Okay, and then some more cheese for this one. Okay, I'll probably put a little bit more cheese on top of that later. Okay, so we're just going to put some toppings on now. Okay. Okay, I'm just going to put a little bit of black pepper over that as well. You could put some herbs on it if you wanted, some basil or parsley. Basically, make whatever pizza you like. Okay, so after 10 to 12 minutes, we have 2 tasty and cooked pizzas. So that was at 200 degrees C for a fan oven, 220 degrees C for an ordinary oven. So with a little bit of practice, in about the same time as it would take you to order a pizza and to get it in and have it delivered, you can create your own tasty pizza.